What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to the channel. We've got 1 minute before the Marvel Future Fight live stream begins. I think this is going to be probably, regardless of how 3RL does, I think this is going to be one of the most epic updates that we've had in over a year, in my opinion, personally. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they have for us in store for this Mutant-led update and what hints we get at. We know we're getting epic quests. Are we going to get a new world boss legend? What are we getting from Madeline Pryor? Is she going to be a native tier 4 through the epic quest? There's a lot of questions that I think is going to just generate some excitement, especially if they market. This is the perfect time to be marketing, because an update like this is something they need to do. So I'm really excited to see what they've got in store for this one. So let's see. Hold on to your hats, guys. We got 30 seconds before this begins. And it's off. Let's see. Oh, looks like the update key art. They need to make Madeline Pryor on the same tier as G. They just need to. That's some good looking key art. That's some really good looking key art right there. Can't complain about that key art. Looks good.
Greetings, agents. This is your community manager, 3RL. Happy New Year to everybody. Woo!
Was that supposed to make a sound?
Breaking news.
So
the powerful mutant
Madeline Pryor's looks,
Goblin Queen.
yeah, that looks good. She looks good. I think I'm not so like, I need to see that more in game.
The powerful mutant villain Goblin Queen possesses an incredible power to alter the future in reality itself. Agents, now be careful not to be swept away by the twisted future she is creating.
And let's be clear, this is not Jean Grey, so this is not a uniform.
Let's briefly go over the update, shall we? First up, as you may have guessed, the theme of the January update is centered around the powerful mutant villain Goblin Queen. Furthermore, a new epic quest.
It's the Goblin Queen. Say the whole name, please. It's like a pimp named Slickback.
Various new heroes who have gained new powers, and heroes with new looks will be added. So please stay till the end. And as always, please note that the footage presented in today's stream is being played on a test build, and there may be differences from the actual update. And like every time, we've prepared a gift for agents who watch the live stream until the very end. So stay with us. Now, with that being said, let's dive into the details of the January update.
This is an update they should have did more for in terms of marketing and pulling in the player community, if I'm being perfectly honest. Nothing against 3RL, but there should have been more done in this one. This is the type of content you put out, and you know you're gonna draw in new players for, so it'd have been really good for them.
Alrighty.
Yep, there we go. That epic quest, you can see it right there.
New epic quests.
Please be a native T4.
Have been looking forward to this. Let's go ahead and jump into it, shall we?
Please be a native T4. Please, please.
The story begins.
Oh, I like Hope's, and I like Rachel's looks a little too burnt orange. I don't know what the colors is not working for me. Hope's looks really good.
An impending danger, embarking on a journey to prevent it. In particular, at the center of this story is the Summers family.
Clearly,
will the Summers family be able to avert the danger facing mutants everywhere? And
Cyclops doesn't get his T4 in the mid-month. I don't really know.
By participating in the epic quest.
Like that, my man need, like, yo, he's gonna have 2 wives, basically T4, and he still ain't gonna touch it.
Here we go.
All right, we need to see that. The Goblin Queen. So clearly she's the top.
The epic quest consists
we need
of
to see
a total
that.
of 55 quests featuring epic quest exclusive heroes like Havoc. You can just acquire him real quick here.
It looks like they just copy and paste in the epic quest. Come on.
You can also get the deluxe hero Hope Summers.
Okay, so Hope's the deluxe hero. All right.
That
He's going too fast. Slow down, my man.
Lots of quests here. Plenty to do. Exodus, who can be acquired through the dimension shift. And lastly, we have the final character, Madeline Pryor, who can be acquired by upgrading all
So she's a
designated characters
native
to
tier 2, so not tier 4.
You can also
Okay.
acquire Cyclops and Kid Omega Exogene at the stages for time travel. Lastly,
Oh, this is cool. So now they're going to have Kid Omega inside of there. So that means that he's probably likely to see a transcendence at the very least inside this update. So that way you can now, that's a different way because I think he was a danger room.
Power saving mode is also
That's a good looking high saver mode. A little disappointed to see that she's not going to be native tier 3 or native tier 4.
Awesome. Have this nice little glow effect with her powers there. But enough about that.
They got to push the limits on these. Like at this point, you got to push the limits. She should have been at the minimum of native tier 3.
First, as you saw in the beginning of the Epic Quest, you can obtain the new native tier 2 hero Havoc at 1 star upon entering.
Blast mutant male superhero. Yeah, makes sense. This is my only problem is always blast characters. Blast for all the mutants.
Into plasma will be available for tier 3 advancement upon release. Check out some of his sweet moves. And he can be used in both PvP and PvE, but performs better in PvP.
Really? So he's going to be a PvP character.
It absorbs a small percentage of energy attack, increases all basic attacks, also grants super armor, as well as other buffs you can check in game. Next up, we have his tier 2 passive, Control Advancement, which increases skill and bonus damage by a percentage and decreased damage received by a percent. And then his leader skill is called Energy Buster, a percentage increase of energy attacks to all allies.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and check out a closer look of the powerful son of Cyclops.
Did he just... Please tell me he did not just say that. He is not the son of Cyclops.
Alrighty. Comes in. A little bit of a hero landing there.
Havoc is not the son of Cyclops.
Front, we have our first skill ready to go, which is Energy Bullet Wave. Well, bam.
All right, not a whole lot to write home there.
Energy Bullet Wave causes some energy damage. And we're going to stay right here for skill number 2. We have Infinite Plasma.
Is this going to be a...
Infinite Plasma applies paralysis.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to probably be like a beam skill, like a constant.
Right. This is a really fun one to me. Try to get over here. We have Spinning Shockwave. Kind of jumps out of the way there. Throws his little shockwave cyclone, if you will.
Decent.
Check it out on the other side. Really like how he jumps back out of
I don't know that any of these skills particularly look to be PvP.
Recovery HP and increases all basic attacks based on accumulated inflicted damage. Next up, we'll stay right here for skill number 4, which is Plasma Combination. I mean, look, to be honest with you, he's a tier 3 character
unless he's getting a tier 4 inside of the update. We're basically looking at a character that's not going to be used other than Otherworld Battle.
Barrier shield and all damage immune, among other buffs. Go here on the left. This is my favorite move of his. Not really any reason in particular, but just because he kind of like just stands there, absorbs some energy, and then blasts it out. I just like that he's just
like, to be honest with you, none of these skills particularly look like they're PvP and going to be doing something other than an Otherworld Battle. Like these look, this doesn't look like a timeline battle PvP character, and I think that's the problem now is that we have so many PvP modes. Trying to figure out where and what PvP they're specifically. This is look like a Otherworld Battle type character.
Maximum power release when using the tier 3 skill. Havoc concentrates energy in his right hand.
How many characters? 4 characters.
And dramatically releases it to crush his enemies. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the practice combo. We're going to do things a little bit
3,
different.
5, 4. I didn't even hear him say anything about ignore targeting.
Instead of hitting the preview button. Let's see how we do. Some of the rehearsals I did really good. Some I did not so good. So we'll see how we go. 3, 5, and 4. If you always want to check out the other combos, as you know, check out.
It's a prompt thing. It's like a quick time event. Like, come on, man.
3, 5.
You messed that up. It's a prompt, man. It's a quick time event.
Practice. Turn off that cooldown. 3, 5.
You gotta wait, bro. It's a quick time event.
Well, let me know in the comments if you have any tips and tricks, because I'm trying to get better at this. I'm just, still learning. Like I said, I swear during the first time I got them all right. But will you have what it takes to harness Havoc's incredible power?
You can mess those up. It's waiting for the trigger times. I'm not that exactly ecstatic with what they showed there.
Next up, we have the Messiah
combat mutant female. Okay.
Summers, who can use powerful telekinesis.
So she's got that Phoenix right there as well. You can see she's got the Phoenix Force powers. Everybody's Phoenix Force mutants now.
Transcendence hero. Check out some of these moves here. Big fan of
combat class mutant. They've made her, and she's a deluxe character, so she's bound to at least be good.
So myself, Hope Summers also has the ability to copy all abilities, absorb variant mutant abilities. Incorporate with Cable to attack enemies. She not only unites with Cable, but also collaborates with Rachel Summers and Kid Omega.
Okay, so she's gonna be a transcendent character.
Phoenix Force during battle.
So Kid Omega's definitely receiving his transcendence then as well.
We're gonna check out the characters of her leader skill. The first one is called Last Hope. It has an increase to all basic attacks.
I like that little trail that they've got going
to her stepfather, Cable. Both her passive skills apply to self. The other one is called Future Training and applies an increase to physical damage, physical attack, and ignores target dodge rate by a percentage. Her tier 2 passive is called Exact Attack, increases guaranteed crit rate, and increases skill and bonus damage. Let's go ahead and jump in and check out her ability.
That comic series with her and Cable was really good. It was one of my favorite X-Men series in a while.
Alrighty. She comes in a battle a little bit more subtle. No ground destruction quite yet, but I'm sure we'll see it here soon. First skill we have is called Instant Telepathic Blast. I might be in a little bit of a bad position.
So
check it out. Oh, it's not too bad.
Is that Rachel? Rachel's getting the transcendence instead of T3.
Check it out over here one more time. Bam. Next up, now that we've rounded these guys up, we're gonna do skill number 2, which is Ground Collapse. Again, also backs up, and there's that beloved ground damage I like so much. Ground damage causes snare and paralysis. Missed the guy on the outside.
Like,
that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Over here on the left, these guys are going to check out skill number 3, which is called Ability Mimic. This is another fun one. There's some fire, some ice, lightning.
So
nice little combination. Ability Mimic applies burn, shock, and silence, and decreases all basic defenses.
So are you actually mimicking somebody's ability, or
increases basic attack?
is it just
skill number 4? Running back up to the front here.
We'll have to see.
Gatling combination. There's that after image. Little. Maybe she's moving so fast that you see her.
It's like 30 something hits per character or something, like 30 something on there.
Paralysis and recovers a
Yeah, because he's at like 120, so divided by 3, like 40 hits.
All basic damage for 1 attack. And next up we have skill number 5. We'll go over here. There's a nice little bundle of guys. This move is called Hope in Cable. So, as you can guess, Cable jumps in, causing burn and bleed, increases all basic attacks, defense.
That's a nice little kit skill there.
Crit rate. Let's check that one out one more time.
I like the way Cable, even though the animation when he actually lands just looks weird.
Awaken skill. Stay right here. Make it easy.
But it's a test build, so.
It's called Spark of Hope. And now we have mentioned before, have a couple of the Phoenix Force joining in the battle. This causes burn and
that Phoenix rising up was pretty cool.
Crit rate increase among other buffs. And let's go ahead and check out her combos as well. Alrighty, this is.
Oh man, she's got a combo.
So
2, 5, 3, 4.
2, 5, 3 and 4. 2, 5, 3.
Oh, you almost had it. You almost had it.
For practice sake.
You almost had it.
5, 3.
Give it time. Give it time. He's nervous.
Be sure to check out those combos for yourself, and we hope you look forward to trying.
I don't
out
know,
this
like
in action.
It's so weird at this point to feel like you're getting Transcendence and, you know, tier 3 characters with the amount that they have.
We have
A universal.
who holds the belief.
Oh,
that
and he's a
are superior
superhero.
beings, destined
I
to
am
inherit the
shocked.
Earth. He's also been added, and is one of the most powerful mutants alive. Exodus
They've made
uses his
him a
powers to teleport and
superhero?
release energy.
And he's
performs
universal.
better
We don't have
PvP
very many
than PvE.
universal mutants, period.
Animations here.
And the fact
First
that they
passive
made
is called
Exodus as a
Prophet's Will,
superhero,
and
clearly
when
they're just
debuffed,
going
it
completely
removes
off
all
Krakoa.
active debuffs from mutant allies.
Nice.
His second passive skill is called Psionic Armor.
Sucks that it's limited to
Experience
mutant
super
allies.
Armor increases all basic defense. It also increases skill and bonus damage by a percentage, as well as decreasing damage received by a percentage.
And they do
And lastly, his leader skill is called Power of the Leaf, and applies an increase to all basic attacks based on the number of mutant allies you have in your team. So, for example, if you just have one, you'll get a certain percentage. But
So this is probably similar to like the combat type leadership. Like I think it's Nebula that has it or something like that. There's like for number of combat type characters that enter the field, and you get that percentage bonus of that. That was a cool entrance. I like that.
His first skill, high speed
Please
slash.
tell me that I'm not seeing what I'm seeing.
It's pretty quick. Bam. Just like that.
Oh my God, you cannot tell me that they chose
Time.
to introduce Exodus into the game as just a tier 2 character.
Next up, skill number 2, light.
Like, why are we introducing characters into the game at this point and just having them as tier 2s?
Like the gather of the power there hesitates.
At that point, I don't care how powerful he is. I'm never going to use him over a tier 4 character.
Skill number 3 is called Shield of
Like,
Belief.
he's a tier 2. That means I can't even use him inside of certain content like
Authority.
World Boss,
Shield of Belief causes incapacitation,
World Boss Legend,
paralysis,
or
recovers a
like
percentage of HP.
why would they
Barrier
introduce a
increases
tier
all
2
basic attacks,
character?
Defense, speed, and crit rate. And one last time.
This makes no sense. We should not be having characters introduced into the game as tier 2, period. I don't even care if they're coming to at some point in the mid-month and they're going to come back to Exodus, because now he's just going to receive a tier 3 or something like that. Still becomes one of those characters like, what difference does it make?
Invincibility and an increase to all basic damage by a percentage for one attack.
Why?
And moving on to skill number 5. This is my favorite of his. This one is called Creation and Destruction.
Doesn't make a difference. You guys have dropped the ball. Whatever you like at this point, whatever you have to say about this character is dumbster fire, because if he's going to be all mutant allies, I don't have a mode to use this character in.
Defenses among other buffs. I'm going to go and jump into his practice combos as well, and wish me luck one more time. I'm just nervous being live, so I'm probably going to mess it up once again, but that's okay. 3, 5, and 4. 3, 5, 4. See? It's that last one every time. All right.
Doesn't make a difference. Why would you give all the other characters Transcendence or tier 3, and then we end up hitting this and you give Exodus a tier 2? Like, it makes no sense. Just think about the fact how long it took Winwu to get his tier 3, and he's garbage now. And then think about how long, like in Baku, for instance, and they never returned back to him. So like, Exodus becomes a dumpster fire character at this point because he becomes useless.
And next, the new double cost
Stupid.
Native 2 tier 2 hero available in tier 3 is Madeline Pryor.
That's completely stupid. Just Blast mutant female supervillain. Okay.
Villain joining Marvel Future Fight. She can be acquired, as you saw earlier, by upgrading all designated heroes to tier 2.
She should have been a native tier 4 character. They should have introduced her and made her the first native tier 4.
Was created through a genetic
At the minimum,
manipulation
she
as
should have been a native
clone
tier
of
3.
Jean Grey, and she can materialize
I get that would have made her really
energy or use
expensive,
the goblins
but
from the limbo
yeah.
dimension to attack her enemies. Her passive is called Hellish Magic, which have the chance to penetrate super armor, barrier, shield, and all damage immune, invincible, and increase additional pierce damage and super armor. Her other passive is called Spell of Protection, which applies an increase to all resistance, skill, and bonus damage by a percentage, as well as a decrease to basic damage received. And her leader skill is called Queen's Will. This removes all debuffs for your allies. And by looking at her passive and leader skills, you can tell she's going to be performing great in PvP. So let's check out this brand new superhero on the field.
Native tier 2, like, okay, great.
Alrighty.
Okay, so she's got her tier 3.
Slow and menacing walk up to the battle line. We jump right into it here.
I think they should have made her just a native tier 3, or like, you know, to introduce, not a native tier 2.
Bam.
I'm really disappointed in Exodus.
Of energy attack and energy damage. As always, turn off that combo, and one more time for everybody. Awesome. All right, for this next skill, I'm going to go ahead and turn on AI for a second.
Okay, so she's got a counterattack skill here.
Everyone's running around. Skill number 2 is called Thorn of the Abyss.
What did it apply there? Clearly like a stun, it looks like, inside there.
All right, turn that off. They're all nicely glued together. Thorn of the Abyss will counterattack enemies and attacks into the target, ignoring target's effect.
Okay, so she's definitely PvP.
And paralysis to enemies, recovers some HP and guarantees all damage immunity, increases basic attacks for 1 attack. And now that we have everyone nice and gathered here, we're going to check out skill number 3, which is called Summon Demon.
Let's see this skill.
Sure, let's go. Nice little circle there. And
we've seen this skill before. We've seen that before. I can't remember the character. We've seen this skill before, though.
And decrease all basic defenses of an enemy. It applies barrier to self and accumulates pure damage when attacking, and increases all basic attacks based upon the accumulated
So what I'm confused about here is there's no T4 inside this initial release.
Right in this little zone. Skill number 4 is called Wings of Vengeance. This applies fracture, incapacitation, and panic to enemies. It grants HP recovery,
panic.
invincibility,
Okay.
and increases all basic attacks, defense, speed, and crit rate. All right, and now skill number 5 is called Goblin Queen's Wrath.
Let's see this.
Wouldn't want to be caught up in those.
I didn't see her. Okay, there goes the iframe. I was like, where's the iframe on this?
Let's do it right here in the center. All right. Goblin's Queen Wrath will apply bleed, paralysis, and incapacitation enemies, granting all damage immunity and increase in all basic attacks to self. And lastly, we have her ultimate skill.
Let's see this one.
Queen's Judgment. When using the tier 3 skill, housing massive psychic powers, Madeline Pryor appears sitting in her throne and uses her own energy to strike her enemies.
I feel like that's a reuse skill too. I'm not like necessarily impressed by it. What I'm confused about is that's all the characters, and I don't see any one of them having a tier 4.
Yes.
So
we're gonna go ahead and check out her.
What's happening here?
Combos as well. There are 2 here.
3, 5, 4.
One is a little bit simpler one that I'll be trying, and there's another one with the ultimate skill in the rotation. So the one I'm doing is 3, 5, and 4. There's another one that's 6, 3, 5, and 4. But again, we're going to go with the easier one because we're still figuring this out. I should be better already. And 3, 5, and 4.
There you go.
Success, finally.
You didn't have any delay cancels, that's why.
Awesome. Can't wait to see this powerful new supervillain in action.
Who's the tier 4? So it's not Havoc, it's not Madeline. I'm confused about this.
Lastly, this hero has
Can't be
become
her.
even more powerful with the addition of a new uniform. Rachel Summers of the Summer family has crossed through time and space to create a better future. Inheriting the power of her mother, Rachel Summers is a superhero who possesses the limitless power of the Phoenix Force. I personally am a big fan of hers. All of her powers are really cool. She summons the Phoenix or attacks her enemies using the fire of the Phoenix
It's weird.
Force.
The uniform colors like throwing me
Mind
off.
resistance and removes all buffs to Phoenix Force allies. In her awakening
They definitely
passive
got to be
is
done with this Phoenix
Aurora,
Force
increases
copy-paste
guaranteed
thing.
Dodge rate, increased skill damage. Her second passive is called Inherited Power, which grants immunity to mind control and charm effects with a high percentage chance to become immune to mind damage. And lastly, Her leader skill is called Phoenix Majesty. When debuffed, increase mind resistance to all Phoenix Force allies, as well as removing debuffs. Let's go ahead and also check out her skills in game, shall we?
So she's gonna be paired up with Mom.
See, really cool.
She's gonna be paired up with Mom for some debuff action.
Rachel Summers. Didn't even know it till recently, but that's okay. First up, skill number 1 is Psionic.
Skill icons look really cool.
Sonic debuff applies stun and deals fire damage. Check out one more time over here.
Nice
Skill
area.
number 2 is called Burning Illusion. Another one of those dodging back after and laying,
Okay,
laying
so
down.
she's got some iframes
Burning
almost
Illusion
throughout of
applies
there,
burn,
at least while the damage
snare
happens.
paralysis to enemies and gives bearer to self. Third skill is called Black Hole.
That was a cool looking skill, at least the way she dodged into action there.
And if you haven't been able to tell, Black Hole applies stun, fear, snare, and decreases all basic defense
That's a cool
to
looking
enemies
skill.
and grants immunity to all debuff, increase, and fire damage to self. Alrighty, over here on the left, these guys deserve a little action as well. Skill number 4 is called Phoenix Call.
Oh, that was a dope skill. That was cool looking.
And one more time. Phoenix Call decreases fire resistance and applies burn, mind control, and
Just called in a Phoenix. Phoenix came down. I was like, hey.
Invincibility to self. Skill number 5 is going to be Phoenix Awakening. All right, so this one is a little bit different from her last skill 5s, and it's a fun one as well. I'm going to try to hit everybody in each region. Let's check this out, shall we?
No, this must have a large area effect.
Oh yeah.
Damn, that's a large area effect.
That was fun. Let's go. Bam. This
Nice.
causes burn and stuns enemies and recovers a percentage of HP, increases all basic attacks, defense, speed, and crit rate, and also grants all damage immunity. And lastly, we have her Awaken skill, similar to the other members
I'm
of the
shocked that they're
Phoenix
going
Force.
straight
We
awakenings.
have Phoenix Volcano. Have a couple of members joining in. Phoenix Volcano causes burn, fracture, and mind blast. Also increases crit rate, crit damage, ignores target dodge rate, and more. One last time for everybody.
Copy and paste. Transcendent skills. It's a cool looking
Alrighty.
skill though. Like I think she looks really cool
have
inside
it.
of Transcendence.
All the new characters coming to this update. We hope you look forward to checking her out.
But I want to know who's a tier 4. My assumption still is Madeline Pryor will get tier 4.
Alrighty. In this update, the only new uniform is going to be Rachel Summers from X-Men Days
Colossus,
of Future Past.
Hellfire
Uniform
Gala,
options
Kitty
include
Pryde,
Colossus from Hellfire
Cable,
Gala,
Heart of Darkness.
Kitty Pryde
That's
from the Red Queen,
terrible.
and of course, the family member
Krakoa
Cable
and
from
Fear
Heart of
Juggernaut.
Darkness.
So it's not
Don't
bad
be
options. Like a
disappointed.
4 out of
This is
5
great news.
there.
There will be a 40% discount on all X-Men uniforms for this update. So will Rachel Summers be able to change the future of the mutant race?
Like, I don't believe that's Cable's most
now-
recent uniform.
Before we move on, let's meet the heroes who have received a tier 4 advancement in potential transcendence. All right.
Oh,
Cyclops.
so they hit us
Well,
with the
Professor
Cyclops
X,
right
to
there.
lead the X-Men, has
Finally.
gained new powers,
I thought he was gonna be the
having become
mid-month.
even more tough through tier 4 advancement. He performs well in PvE,
Okay.
especially as a leader in support.
So let us see
Cyclops
it. What's up? I
explosively
want to see
releases
it.
his energy to unleash a devastating attack on his enemies.
Oh, never mind.
Of course, we have the
Cable's uniform
mutant
is good.
troublemaker Kid Omega. He's also gained new skills. Being an Omega level mutant and telepath, Kid Omega
I knew Cyclops was going to
unites
get tier
with
4. I
Rachel
just
and
imagined it was going to
and
be in the
uses
mid-month.
power
So
of
maybe
the
Madeline
to
will
attack
get
his
her
enemies.
tier 4 in the
And
mid-month. Like,
we
it
look
just
forward
makes
as well
no
to
sense for me
Cyclops
to...
and Kid Omega, who
that she
also
just
fight
doesn't
the
receive a
beasts
tier
of
4
mutants
immediately.
with their new powers. But it's not over yet, agents. New items that will further enhance heroes' performance have also been added to this
Oh,
update.
God.
So let's check them out.
Let's stop adding items.
All right.
Jesus
Then,
Christ.
5 new types of Odin's
Okay, it's just
blessings
Odin's
will
blessings,
be
okay.
added. The new
all
OLED
basic
blessings
attack,
are
fire
flame,
damage, cold
chill,
damage, all
lightning,
basic attack.
poison, and mine.
Okay, it's not bad.
Each come with 2 options.
This is
All
bad though
basic
because they
attack
introduced the
increase and
poison,
element
right?
of
And poison,
increase for their
like, who cares?
respective,
Like,
respective
hate to
abilities.
say it, but who cares?
The new Odin's blessings will especially make heroes with elemental damage even more powerful.
The other
For
ones are
example,
definitely good. Like
Thor
you
and
can
Odin, who
see,
deal
yeah.
lightning damage and perform well in PvE, or Jean Grey, who deals fire damage and excels in both PvP.
I guess it's good, especially the way you're looking at the way they've.
So be sure
It's really easy
to
on
equip
uniforms
new
now
Odin's
that
blessings
you can
to the
basically
appropriate
max
heroes
out
and
those stats and not have to
upgrade
drop in like crit rate, crit damage, and dodge type Uru
Along
on there.
with that,
So
there'll be
this
some
those
various,
blessings make sense.
improvements that have also been prepared. So let's just jump right into that, shall we? All right, we're gonna check out a new filtering feature similar to the one we used in the My
Nobody
Team has been
gives
added
a
for those who
fuck.
have experienced difficulties finding heroes.
Nobody cares
that
about
meet
this.
Conditions for challenges in the dispatch mission and
I was hoping they were gonna feature a new world boss legend.
abilities. We're looking just take a random here, Cosmic Cube. You can now conveniently search for uniforms with the necessary options. You can also, I'm gonna go ahead.
That'd be nice if there was a reason for you to go back and purchase old uniforms, but there
boss
isn't.
here.
So
Okay. Bam, bam. Lastly, the uniform effects and abilities will now be displayed in the character overview. So you can take a look here, click here, and check all the necessary details.
Nice.
This will allow you to use your heroes with advantages and effects and abilities according to the situation.
yeah, because it was sucky to try to go for the uniform effect for certain characters like
All right.
what's her name?
Let us know in the comments below what
Morgan
you
Le
think.
Fay, for instance. Like she has her ability that makes her worth a support character on the uniform.
Alrighty, everybody. We have looked into the main changes of the January
That
update
cannot
so
be
far.
it.
And of course, there'll be more details and improvements that were not discussed through the live stream. So be sure to check out the update details in the notice that we posted in the community forum. And now, the moment you've been waiting for.
Not your code, bro.
Time for the event coupons. The code can be used in the main lobby, as you know. And if you're an Android user, go to Settings, Info, and Coupon for Android users. And of course, if you're an iOS and Apple user, check out the coupon registration page on our forum. Usually it's entered in the chat right about now. The coupon code is Goblin Queen. There we go, right there.
They're gonna have to do a lot to
Goblin
make
Queen is all
Cyclops
one
like the
word,
spicy
and it's valid
update for
until
this. Like
1/13/659
his leadership, passive
AM
abilities are gonna have to be
EST. So
boosted,
you know, be sure to
and
enter
his
code quickly
he's gonna have to have a
soon.
hell of a good tier 4.
Well, there you have it. Thank you for
That
joining
makes
us.
sense.
I hope you're excited as we are for the January Goblin Queen update.
It
Be
really
sure to follow our
they
social media channels.
they're not
and
pushing the
forums for
boundaries, and they
everything
need to.
Marvel Future Fight.
Madeline
Leave a comment,
Pryor
let
should
us
have
know
been.
what you'd like to see in the future.
She should have
Thank
probably
you,
been a
everyone,
native tier
for coming
3, and
to
they
our
should have
live
just
stream
rolled
this
into her
Friday
being
or
tier
every
4.
live stream. Goodbye, everyone. This is 3RL signing off.
Especially
We'll see you
considering that we
next
know
time.
she's a clone of Jean. Jean's already in the game as a tier 4, but it just made sense. It's not like that hard of a leap, to be perfectly honest. Happy to see Cyclops getting his tier 4, because just like, thank God finally, but he's gonna need to be a good tier 4. I'd hate to be thinking about tier 4ing a character just so that way I can have him as a leadership, and he cannot be a glass cannon anymore. So I'm still excited about it. I'm really disappointed in what they're doing with Exodus. At this point, the team has to know, like, introducing characters that are tier 2s absolutely makes no sense. Why they went that route, why they're still on this, I don't know. Like we see with Wenwu, we've seen it with Katie, we've seen it with M'Baku. They're not coming back with enough time to come back to some of these characters and give them, I mean, Exodus is, you said it, he's one of the most powerful mutants in the MCU, excuse me, not MCU, inside Marvel Comics. Why would you introduce him as just a tier 2 character? It just makes no sense whatsoever. So all of the buffs and the abilities you give to him makes it no reason to play that character. I don't know why they did that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm still excited about this update, especially knowing Cyclops is getting his leadership there, or his tier 4. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, peace.